Hello, YouTubers. It is I, Mike Delisle, and welcome back to another episode of Mad Trippin'. In this episode, we're back in Hollywood in 2009. Join me as we walk Hollywood Boulevard. I'll show you what the premiere events were like for Inglourious Basterds and All About Steve. I will also be giving you tips on things that you should do and things that you should not do. I will also show you two places that are close to your stay on Hollywood Boulevard: the La Brea Tar Pits and the Griffith Observatory. Are you ready? Let's start tripping. Park your car, save some gas, and you can walk most of Hollywood Boulevard or take the metro system to go up to Universal Studios and all around LA. Now let's go over some of the do's and don'ts. Just as with any major city or tourist hotspot location around the world, you're going to have people that have lost their way or that have some type of mental disability. Here you can see the guy in the white shirt is bothering the older gentleman on the left and then pretending to ignore him while he starts a conversation with some random guy on the right. Try and stay away from these people or notify the proper authorities if you think the situation could get out of hand. Probably not a good idea to ride your bicycle on the sidewalk. They can get pretty congested at times, and there is a lot of families walking around with small children.
I didn't get 100 feet from the hotel and went into one of the crazies.
Doesn't take long, does it?
I was watching a squirrel.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. You come across the street right in front of you, and they see me and they stop. You know, I was making him nervous, so I just stood real still, and he went in front of me and up in the bushes and shit. And I was standing, and this guy comes up in the bushes. I go, "You here for me?" And I go, "What?" He goes, "Are you here for me?" And I said, "No." And he goes, he said something else too.
What did you said something else crazy?
Well, I guess I'll just have to walk around up and down the boulevard all day. And I go, "Well, I guess so." Just the other side of the driveway, and he turns around and he says, "You want me to smoke a cigarette for you?" And I go, "Sure." He comes back and he says, "Do you have a cigarette?" And I go, "No." And he says, "Then why do you want me to smoke a cigarette for you?" And I said, "Well, I thought you had one." He says, "That's your problem. You don't think."
You know, in some way he makes sense. Try not to pull your wallet out or dig through your purse or pull out a wad of cash out in public. It draws a little bit of attention to you or makes it easy for somebody to run by and grab your wallet or your purse from your hands. I like to plan ahead before I leave the room. I'll put a little bit of lunch money in my left pocket and a little bit of shopping money in my right pocket so I don't have to bring out my wallet as much. We were there during the summer months where the days can be hot and the nights can get chilly, so pack accordingly and always remember to have plenty of sunscreen and water. Another tip is, don't reach out for anything that somebody's trying to hand you. They might tell you it's free, but the truth is they're just trying to lure you in to make a sale. Now, one of the most popular spots is Hollywood and Highland. That's where you'll find the Kodak Theater. The Kodak Theater has played host to movie premieres, the Oscars, American Idol, and much more. There are plenty of tour buses to take you around LA, the Stars Homes, and Hollywood Boulevard. Check their local websites for times and availability. Along with the Kodak Theater and the Grauman's Chinese Theater, you have the Disney El Capitan Theater. Ticket prices are a little bit higher than your normal ticket price for a movie, but they give you a little bit of a show before the movie starts. When we went, there was a man up there playing your favorite Disney tunes on an organ, and then dancers came out with people in a Mickey and Minnie costume and entertained the kids for about 5 minutes before the movie started. Well worth the price if you ask me. Most of my video taken is from the Kodak Theater, or the mall that the Kodak Theater is attached to, over on Highland and Hollywood Boulevard. It gives you a great perspective of the boulevard and the outlining area of LA. And it makes it a perfect area for getting pictures and video. They have plenty of retail shops and restaurants right here at the Kodak Theater in this small area. So you can spend a couple hours to a day here. The festivities just keep on rolling through the night. You never know what you just might see. I never did figure out what this was all about, but it happened in Santa Monica when we were staying there too, and I didn't have my camera with me when it happened, and there was a heck of a lot more bicyclers down on Santa Monica than there was this night. Talk about the character actors you'll find along Hollywood Boulevard. And again, nothing is really free. So if you're going to take a picture with them, they're expecting a couple bucks. And it's worth it for a couple of dollars for your kids to take a picture with their favorite superhero like Spider-Man, or maybe from the Joker from Batman. It's not required that you pay them, but it's kind of an unspoken rule. You got to remember, these people are out there just trying to make a couple extra bucks. During the summer months, it can get pretty hot. So to be standing out there all day in costume can be pretty excruciating. And where else are you going to see Superman walking with Napoleon Dynamite? And Midnight Bob and I did just that. So what you do is you take maybe $10 to $20 in ones, separate them in piles of $2 or $3, put them in your pocket, and just give them $2 or $3 when you're going to go out and take their picture. Or if you want to have a picture with them. Here's a quick glimpse of a few of our favorites. The amount of detail that went to this Transformers Bumblebee costume was phenomenal. Whoever created this was just a master artist, in my opinion. Poor Bumblebee, it just wasn't the same after the fall of Optimus Prime. Hollywood Walk of Fame is approximately 1.7 miles long. We started on the southeast corner of La Brea and Hollywood Boulevard. The corner is adorned with 4 statues of Hollywood legends. And the 4 women are Mae West, Dorothy Dandridge, Anna Mae Wong, and Dolores Del Rio. The Walk of Fame is on both sides of the street, on Hollywood Boulevard and also on Vine Street. The Hollywood Walk of Fame travels along Hollywood Boulevard from La Brea to Gower Street and is approximately 1.3 miles long, or a 35 to 45 minute speed walk. Along Vine Street from Yucca Street to Sunset Boulevard is approximately 0.4 miles, or a 10-minute walk. So we're looking at about 1.7 miles in total, about an hour walk for some speed walkers, or for people that like to browse around and take pictures like me at midnight. You can actually spend almost a whole day doing this and checking out all the names on the stars. You can check out the Hollywood Walk of Fame website for history, star location, and upcoming events. Here are just a few of our favorite movie stars and singers. We will have a bonus episode of a photo gallery where you can see more of the stars and more of the wax figures from our previous episodes.
We don't come out too good in the game.
Hard asses. And of course we went and saw Michael Jackson's star, who had just recently passed away that year. Matter of fact, he passed away the day before we left in June, when we left Phoenix headed for California. It was all over the news for weeks. As you're walking the boulevard and checking out all the stars and maybe taking pictures and video, there is plenty to eat. So no matter how far you go down the boulevard, there'll be a restaurant nearby. We did this every day and night we were staying in Hollywood. And we were staying in Hollywood for at least a month or 2. That's how we stumbled into the autograph signing by Quentin Tarantino at the record store, and how we came across the movie premieres just by walking up and down the boulevard every day and every night and seeing what was going on. I thought this was kind of funny. An ambulance pulls up. Spider-Man comes by to help. Elmo looks worried that he lost somebody. And I think this says it all right here, that whoever Elmo lost, I don't think they made it. Pretty close to Whitley Avenue and Yucca Street is where we stayed at the Motel 6. My only real complaint is they have a small crowded garage in the basement area with not a lot of parking. And every day you got to go down to the front desk and pay for your parking spot. But it was under $100 a night and the location was perfect. If at all possible, reserve a room that ends in an even number, 402, 502. This gives you the best views. The rooms with the even numbers, like we had, 501 and 401, our views were to the north, and right to our north was an apartment building. But to the south, you're looking out towards the Hollywood Boulevard and the Los Angeles lights. And now I take you to the Hollywood premiere of Inglourious Basterds. This is the beginning of the premiere. They have the red carpet all set up. You will notice on the right, they've let the crowd of spectators get a little too close to the red carpet area and up against where the fencing is and stuff like that. They're eventually going to start moving them back, which is a bit of a problem since there's so many people there continuing down the boulevard. But I'll show you a video of where they start moving them back here in a bit. It took a little bit of work and thinking, but after a while they did eventually move everybody back just far enough. A couple thousand people out here to see the stars arrive for the red carpet premiere. Now everything is set. People are moved back. They got plenty of room for the red carpet. I'm on the roof filming below, and the stars are about to arrive. The first star that I spot is DJ Novak and Mindy Kaling. I'll let the tape roll from here and see if you can guess who all the stars are coming out of the vehicle. And here is Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, and I love it when the stars walk over and sign autographs. Now, they were one of the last ones to arrive, and some of the other stars did go over and sign autographs before them. And I think that is really cool when you do that with the fans, especially people who have been sitting and waiting out there for hours. But one of my favorite parts of this is where Brad Pitt walks up to the tour bus here and gives everybody a high five and shakes their hand. And you can tell this lady right here, she just loves it. She's immediately on the phone telling everybody, which is what I would have been doing. Look how happy she is. That is just so awesome that they did that. They really made her day. And they didn't have to. So props to the movie stars when they do something like this. But you got to be careful. I noticed that in some of the scenes, the force of the crowd moving forward to get an autograph can easily tip over those gates. And you'll notice that some of his bodyguards or security is leaning on the gates, pushing them the other way. And they do get a little worried about people getting crushed. So hopefully in the past 10 years, they've come up with a better system for something like this. And Quentin Tarantino arrived after Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, and he does the same thing, goes over and signs some autographs. So I'm going to leave you here with just a brief video of him signing autographs and a couple of the other stars from the movies signing autographs before they walk the red carpet. arriving and after the autographs are signed, it's time to walk the red carpet and do some interviews and take some photos. I'm going to leave you here and just let you walk through with me as I was videotaping and seeing some of the stars that walked along the red carpet.
Só dá pra focalizar bem certinho.
سامي اعمل دي زوم. وراها تريس بسيطة مرات شميت اللي قدر نخاف من علي راني. اللي قادم من غاد دبروه الصح.
See him? Right in the middle? Putting on his glasses.
Stars are inside and people are lingering to get a shot of them as they come out. They start rolling up the red carpet and hauling everything away.
It's 10 minutes till 9 p.m.
I didn't get a shot of them leaving. Too many people got in the way. And then back to walking the boulevard. Now, I don't know if this place is still there 10 years later, or if it's under the same management, or if they changed the recipe. But at the time in 2009, this was some of the best Chinese food I ever had on Washington and Lincoln. And it was right on the in the same shopping mall as the the 7-Eleven. And I do believe that this would be the northeast side of the street. And it was called the California Walk Express. And I gotta tell you, it was some of the best Chinese food I've had in a long time, and I wouldn't expect it to be there just sitting on a corner in a small little strip. I'll definitely be heading back there if it is still there to give it a try and see how good it is. So like I said, when you're out walking the boulevard, you find out things like when Quentin Tarantino's going to a certain record store to sign autographs for everybody. Unfortunately, it was by ticket only, but we did get inside the record store where we could take some pictures and do a little bit of filming. Pretty awesome experience. And I believe these two actresses were coming out of a club on Sunset Boulevard, but I can't remember for sure. But it's while you're out walking around that you just accidentally bump into stuff like this. And even things like this where they're out filming a TV show or commercial. Like this right here, I couldn't believe. We sat and watched them for a good half hour, 45 minutes, and they kept retaking the shot over and over again. And about 6 months later, I'm sitting at home watching TV, and I realized it was a split second in a Yahoo commercial.
Oh, there they go again.
All this for a split second in a Yahoo commercial.
Yeah, they'll do
I
it.
love it. It's crazy, but I love it. Now we're at the premiere movie of All About Steve, starring the wonderfully talented Sandra Bullock, with Bradley Cooper, Ken Jeong, and Susie Kurtz. Is that how you say her name? You're going to see her here in just a second. And it also had Thomas Hayden Church in it from Wings, if I remember correctly, on USA Television. I'll leave you here with just a look of what we got to film while we were there that day at the premiere of All About Steve. A little bit later on, Midnight Bob called me when I was walking back to the hotel, and he told me he got 2 tickets to go in and watch the premiere inside Grauman's Theater.
The guy that's in the movie with her.
Pretty awesome and special experience that we got to have.
Shaved head, looks like him.
He was on the other side of the premiere that I was on, and he just happened to be standing in the right spot when somebody was handing out tickets.
Not
Of course, that looks like a natural bald spot there with it. Is that a man or a
woman? Some big fires while we were in LA too, and you could see them from Hollywood, Boulevard, and the Griffith Observatory, which we'll show you a little later on here. But this is why I like to film news channels when I'm on vacation, when I'm sitting alone in my room, so I can just see what the stories were at that time. So now I know what was going on in 2009 in LA while we were there.
In 2005, but it was kind of short-lived. It was only a couple hours stopping it, and it kind of caused it.
I don't know which fire this was, but you could see it from the Griffith Observatory, and I believe it was to the north, behind the mountain there. And I'll show you here the smoke behind my head. That's a pretty intense fire. That's pretty big. That's almost one of those things where they say it's a storm that's created by the fire, or that might be actually what that is. But all that, what you think is clouds right there, is actually being created from the fire or fires that were in that surrounding area. I'm going to show you just a couple of shots right here of what that fire smoke looked like, and even a couple shots of the fire itself. And like I said, this fire smoke you see right here is from one fire on the left, and then when I panned over to the right, that's a whole nother fire over out that way. Here's a close-up video of the clouds, the smoke from the fire just billowing and billowing.
Go check out this
Look at this.
trail marker.
Watch it. It's billowing, man. Look how fast it's going.
Yeah. I know it's constantly changing.
It's amazing. Plane up there right now.
We'll see if they got a trail marker over here.
Okay. You're not gonna try to. Well, you're not gonna try to walk the trail, are you?
Depends on how far.
I can tell you right now. Yeah, too long. It's too zoomed in for me to hold it steady if I had your tripod up here. Said if I'd have brought my tripod up. Coming right up along the ridge.
Two other attractions close to Hollywood Boulevard is the Griffith Observatory and the La Brea Tar Pits. Although one is to the northeast of Hollywood Boulevard and the other one is to the south. Many films and TV shows were shot here, and it's even a good place to have a wedding. And again, on any hot summer day, anywhere you can go to cool down and get a little air conditioning is perfect. If you have the time and always the money, I recommend taking a trip, maybe even for the day, to the Griffith Observatory or the La Brea Tar Pits. Well, that about does it for our 2009 trip to Hollywood with Midnight Bob. I'm going to leave you with some pictures and videos of the Griffith Observatory and the La Brea Tar Pits before we go.
Reflection.
Now the La Brea Tar Pits, excuse me, that was a little train horn there on my phone. La Brea Tar Pits are south on La Brea Avenue from Hollywood Boulevard. Again, if you have the time and the money, I do highly recommend that you go. You can spend a couple hours in here reading all the plaques, taking some pictures, and looking at all the amazing things they pulled out of the La Brea Tar Pits there in LA. And also some of the asphalt that is along streets in LA has come from the La Brea Tar Pits. At the time that we were there, they were working on a woolly mammoth. I believe they said it was a complete skeletal that they pulled out of the tar pits, and that they were still currently pulling stuff out of the tar pits while we were there. Now, that was 10 years ago. I'm hoping that the woolly mammoth will have been completed by now. I don't know. I don't think this one right here was a fully completed one. I think that's why they were really happy with what they were recently pulling out.